We're going to continue our study about divine healing and the healing of our physical bodies. And I'm reading from Matthew chapter 8. And I'm going to pick up where I left last time. And it says, verse 16, when the evening was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with demons. And he cast out the demons, and he cast out the spirits with his word, and healed all that were sick. Verse 17, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by, and it's spoken by Isaiah, or Yahusha, that's the prophet's real name in Hebrew, the prophet, saying, himself took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses. Now, this is an absolute imperative verse for you to understand and to remember, because right clearly it states here that it might be fulfilled, which was already been spoken by Yahusha or Isaiah, and he's quoting from Isaiah 53 verses 4 and 5. Keep in mind that the prophet Yahusha wrote that about 700 years before the Messiah walked on the earth. And it says right here in the book of Matthew that as the Mashiach went about healing all that were oppressed of Shaitan, in other words, he healed all that were sick, that it might be fulfilled, which was already had been spoken by Yahusha the prophet, himself took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely, imperative for us to know that that the healing provision of our bodies is provided in the atonement, in the plan of redemption. And it's spoken here that that it's the will of Yahuwah to not only redeem us from spiritual death, but also provide the physical healing of our bodies. Now, as long as we're here on the earth, we're subject to being attacked in our bodies with sickness and disease. But you and I do not have to allow that sickness and disease to stay in our bodies. Why is that so? Because there's been provision through the atonement by the Messiah, because it says clearly that he bore our sicknesses. Well, if he bore them for us, then we need not to have to bear them. And you have to understand that Shaitan or Satan will come against you and I because of ignorance. The scripture says that Satan or Shaitan goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Now, with it stated like that, it says whom he may devour, indicates that he can't just devour anyone. He can only devour those that are either ignorant, not knowing what's provided for them, or he could just come against them because of, say, rebellion on their part, and they're walking in deliberate sin, and they've given place to the devil. In other words, he has free access to them because they've allowed him to have access through sin in their lives or whatever. But every time if you have a sickness coming in your body, it doesn't mean that you've fallen into some kind of sin. Shaitan will come against you to test you, to enforce any kind of sickness and disease upon you, because he comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But Yahusha said, I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Now he said that in John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And sickness and disease will eventually, if you allow it to run its course, can steal your life and make you die early. One of the promises that we have in the scriptures is that in Psalm 91 talks about with long life would he satisfy us and show us his salvation. And that's talking about physical healing, or the life that you're living on this earth, that you could have long life. And if you read all the things that is stated in Psalm 91, it's because you know his name. And because you know his name, Yahuwah has made certain promises to his children that he would deliver you from all sickness, all oppression. Acts 10:38 says how Yahuwah anointed Yahusha of Nazareth with the Ruach HaKodesh, who went about doing good, and the good that he went about doing was healing all that were oppressed of Shaitan, proving that sickness and disease is an oppression from the enemy. And Yahusha went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of Shaitan. Clearly, he is the full expression of the will of our Father. He said, I came not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. So we should understand that it's the will of Yahuwah to heal us of our sickness. If anyone's sick among you, it says, let him call for the elders of the church. If it was Yahuwah's will for you to bear that sickness, there'd be no reason to tell you and I to call for the elders to pray over them, anointing them with oil in the name of Yahuwah, and the prayer of faith would heal the sick. There's no reason to tell you and I to do that if it's not the will of Yahuwah to raise the sick up. We'll continue this on our next session, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope the wind is not blowing too much that it's causing a lot of interruption. I don't know, but if it did, we may just have to do some of these over again. But I love you, Yahuwah loves you, and we'll see you on our next broadcast. Thank you.